So it's time to preview the ALDS, and it'll be the Yankees versus the Orioles. Will New York end Baltimore's magical season, or will Buck Showalter get the sweetest revenge on his former team? What's up, guys? Yankees Run This Town here, and today, a little later today, is Game 1 of the 2012 American League Division Series between the Yankees and the Orioles, and I never thought I'd say that sentence in a million years. Buck Showalter guided the Orioles to an incredible season, their first playoff appearance since 1996. We all know what happened that year. The Yankees beat the Orioles in the ALCS to move on to the World Series. The Yankees won their first World Series since 1978 and thus started the dynasty. But, before I get into this series, I just want to mention, speaking of that dynasty, what I said in the intro, Buck Showalter, of course, managed the Yankees from 1992 to 1995 and, was fired the year before 1996, replaced by Joe Torre, of course. And, a lot of people think of Buck Showalter as the guy before Joe Torre, and which is rightfully so. It's true. And, but in reality, Joe Torre should be considered the guy who followed Buck Showalter, you know what I mean? Because Buck Showalter, well, George Steinbrenner was suspended for a couple of years, if you guys didn't know. He and Gene Stickmichael, rebuilt this team and focused on the youth and made great decisions to trade for guys like Paul O'Neill and bring in a lot of prospects and what Showalter and Michael did in the years leading up to '96 really is why the Yankees have been so successful to this day. Of course, not just the 90s dynasty, but the Yankees ended up winning the World Series in 2009 with the core four of Jeter, Pettit, Posada, and Mariano, being key parts of that team. So even to this day, Buck Showalter has a lasting positive impact on the Yankees. And yet, now he's going to try to bring this long-lasting dynasty down with his new team. And it's going to be an exciting series, and I love the playoffs so much, love the time of year. October, 55 degrees almost every day. That's my favorite weather. The fall to me is just perfect. Everything's going on, football, the playoffs, as I said, and just a lot of great things. But I'm really looking forward to tonight's game and really looking forward to this entire postseason. Hopefully it goes far for the Yankees. Tonight we'll have CC Sabathia going up against Jason Hamill in Camden Yards, even though the Yankees have home field advantage. Don't get me started on that. You guys know how it is. It's 2-3 format for this year, with the lower seed getting home, getting the first two games at home, which I consider home field advantage. It should be a close game because the Yankees have not. Yankees, of course, split the season series with the Orioles 9-9, so it was not like the Yankees were so much better than them, or the Orioles were so much better. It was really close all year. The Orioles nearly knocked the Yankees out of their division lead and nearly made them play in the wild card game. But thank God this year they didn't. As I said, it should be a close game because the Yankees have not really solved the Oriole pitching all year long. CC Sabathia has not solved the Orioles hitters all year long. CC did pitch amazingly well his last three starts, really dominant. I was there against Oakland on Friday the 21st of September, and he pitched amazing. And then, he looked strong. And if he can pitch like that, then Yankees should have no problem winning this game. But, as I said, he's had his struggles against Baltimore, specifically in Baltimore. So I'll monitor that situation, as I'm sure a bunch of Yankee fans will. I gave my playoff outlook, and I mentioned that it's Yankees hitting has been really streaky and really inconsistent. So it's hard to predict what they're going to get from their lineup, but I think they have a very full lineup, a very healthy lineup to the extent that it can be at this point in the year. And you got Derek Jeter, you got Ichiro, A-Rod, Cano, Swisher, Teixeira, Granderson, Ibanez, and Martin. I believe that's a Game 1 lineup. Granderson and Teixeira might be swapped out, but I would expect that type of lineup, and that is a pretty good balanced lineup. I love Ichiro hitting the 2 spot. A-Rod mentioned that. A-Rod, as I said, yeah, he mentioned on Mike Francesa's radio show, he made a great point comparing Ichiro to Johnny Damon, and how Johnny Damon was a number 2 hitter who, was kind of the spark plug of that Yankees '09 team and ran the bases very well. He got hits and rarely struck out. And really, the same does hold true with Ichiro. So I would look for him to potentially have a big postseason, his first playoffs since his first one in 2001 with the Mariners, and the Yankees beat the Mariners in the ALCS. So I look for him to be a potential, contributor to the Yankees postseason, especially this series. Swisher, A-Rod, Teixeira, I don't know what to expect from them. I expect them to play poorly as they have the last 2 postseasons, 3 postseasons for Swisher, Teixeira especially, but you never know. You never know. Granderson's hit well. Ibanez has had some key hits for the Phillies in the postseason before. And Russell Martin has been hitting well of late, but again, you don't have to expect from a guy like him. And of course, how to leave out Derek Jeter at the top of the order. He's the captain. He ultimately will guide this team, whether it's in a winning direction or a losing direction. So the Yankees lineup, just kind of give a recap of that, is strong but is very streaky, and I do not know if they'll even score more than 8 runs in any postseason game this year. I really don't see that happening. But the matchups aren't set for the rest of the series. I know the Yankees have their rotation set. Game 2 will be Andy Pettitte, as it should be. Very happy starting Game 2. A good road pitcher, and Kuroda starting Game 3, who's better at Yankee Stadium. You'd figure guys like Wei and Chen would start game 2 or Game 3. Joe Saunders would get a start somehow in there after pitching so great in the wild card game for them. So, the Orioles pitchers are they're not outstanding. They're starters for this series, it seems like, because Jason Hamill has only started, I think, 2 or 3 games since coming off the disabled list. Joe Saunders is a very hittable pitcher. The Yankees saw him before in the 2009 playoffs with the Angels. And Wei Yin Chen making his first postseason starts. It'll be interesting to see how the Yankees approach him, but I admit he was pretty good against the Yankees in the regular season, but the playoffs is a whole different animal, so we'll see how that goes. But if the Yankees can just get to the starters early, really pound the starters and just drive in runs early, they should be good, because you really do not want to be losing or in a tie game with the Orioles bullpen fresh and ready to go, because the Orioles bullpen has been one of the best in baseball. If not the best, normally automatic. The Yankees have gotten to Pedro Strop and Jim Johnson before, but those are very rare occasions, and the Orioles look very strong against the Texas Rangers in Texas. So, I admit I'm very nervous about the series, and it really could go either way. I could see the Yankees sweeping. I could see the Orioles sweeping. I could see the Yankees winning in 5. I could see the Orioles winning in 5. I've had a lot of scattered thoughts in this video already, but I can't really put my thoughts into one coherent thought. It's just there's so many different factors that could swing this series in either way for both teams, and I have confidence in the Yankees. I'm very pumped up for what's going to happen later today. Very pumped up for the Yankees' chances. And I'm pumped up for the Orioles and their fans, and especially Buck Showalter, to be honest, because I'm happy they made the playoffs. But, now the Yankees really got to turn it on. They got to play well. They got to play as a, coherent team and a confident team. And, as a Yankee fan, I got to pick them in this series, but I would not be surprised if Baltimore does win. So we will see what happens. I Either way, it should be an exciting series because both teams played close all year. So if you're looking for exciting baseball, this might be the most interesting series to watch, at least in the division series round. So that's pretty much it. I'll have my game one recap. I'll try to recap every game, or like 2 games in one video. I'll try to get that all done for you guys as quickly as I can. Want to get a lot of videos out, as I said. So playoff time is here. Yankee playoff baseball time is here, and there's nothing better. And I think if the Yankees can just play the way they did down the stretch, and I mean the last 2 weeks of the season, I would expect them to advance. But anything can happen, and I give my congrats to the Oriole fans and good luck to the Oriole fans, and we'll see who's the last man standing after basically this week, because game one of the ALCS is set for the 13th, so this series will be over, will be decided by this time next week. So thanks for watching. Go Yankees, and number 28, let's go and get it.